If you've got a Lovevery subscription and are trying to get only the best of their play kits, you're in luck because I am sharing the best and worst play kits by age based solely on our experience after receiving our first play kit back in 2018 and using them now with 2 kids. If you're new here, my name is Rachel from The Confused Mom. Welcome to my channel. I share baby and toddler product reviews, activities, as well as Montessori at home tips. And I've reviewed all of Lovevery's play kits to date, including how they financially compare when self-curating to dupes. And I link all those dupes to make it really easy for you. So be sure to go back and check out those past videos after this. And we're gonna do this pretty rapid fire. There's chapters in the description box below if you wanna jump ahead to your specific age range. We're jumping right in with the newborn to 12-month-olds. This is the only one that I'm going to split because there's more play kits that come this year. For 0 to 6-month-olds, I think the best play kit is the Charmer. We still use the mirror to this day. The book is something that we often took with us all the way up to 2 years old as a car seat toy or a travel toy. And it just has a great variety of rattles and teethers that are made from cleaner, non-toxic materials compared to buying random ones off of Amazon. Lastly, it comes with a set of Lovevery flashcards, which is by far our favorite flashcard. They are kid-proof, really durable. They hold up great across multiple kids. And for 0 to 6-month-olds, I would say the Looker is the play kit to skip. You can use the crinkle book from the Charmer play kit to essentially accomplish the same thing as the standing card holder in the Inspector play kit. And with both of my kids, we never used mittens or a mobile. While the sensory links do look fun, you can also purchase a wooden board book from Lovevery's Target line, which I'll link in the description box below, which makes this kind of a skip for me if being critical. For 6 to 12-month-olds, the best play kit is going to be the Inspector. We still use the object permanence box to this day. If you saw my playroom tour, you know it is one of the items that is always out. We also still use basket and the felt ball, the stacking cups, which you can also get in their Target line, the full complete set, and I do recommend those too, and the metal cup all of the time. And the book really holds you accountable about teaching your child a sign language, which does come in handy before they can start to talk. All of the items in there are just going to last for so long. For the worst play kit in the 6 to 12-month-old range, I would say it's the Explorer play kit. And it's not that it's necessarily bad, but it won worst over the Thinker because it's just so much easier to recreate on your own. And the items just don't last as long as the Thinker. For instance, you're gonna end up buying more wooden blocks than just 3. And we personally love play silks, so you're gonna end up buying more play silks than just the 1. For 1 to 2-year-old play kits, the best in class, in my opinion, and this was really hard to choose, is going to be the Companion. I know everyone probably says it's the Babbler, and while I love the Ball Run, it's something that is typically always out on this play shelf if you've watched a lot of my other videos. It's really easy to DIY your own posting activities, and the items that are in that play kit that we got originally, we just don't use as much compared to the items that are in the Companion, where we still use all of the items we got from that. In terms of the worst play kit for 1 to 2-year-olds, this was an incredibly hard decision. We use all of the items in the Adventurer play kit today, but I think when I did that review, I said that you could self-curate it for less than the cost of Lovevery. I don't remember fully, but again, we use all of the items still to this day with my 2.5 and 4-year-old. And the Realist had some of our all-time favorite Lovevery items. However, they have not stood the test of time. The Quilted Critters mat was used so much that it actually ended up getting destroyed with just so much smoothie and food crumbs and all that stuff. And no matter how many times I washed it, it just kind of kept getting warped and the stains weren't really coming out of it. So we no longer have that item, unfortunately, even though we don't have it anymore because it got used so much. And then the flashlight was another one of my kids' favorite items. It got a ton of food crumbs and dry fruit dust wedged between the plastic outer shell and the purple inner one. And I don't know, I think my son just kept taking the batteries out eventually, and I haven't seen that in 6 months now. Additionally, the bus that is now in the Realist play kit, it was not in the original version that we got, but you do get this van in the next year's play kit, so I would probably wait till that one. And while we absolutely love the lockbox that comes in Lovevery's, I mean, we use this thing all the time, we also got this Kiwico one, which is a lot bigger, and my kids have repurposed it to be a second home or a car garage and all sorts of other stuff. Whereas the Lovevery one's a little small for some of that. I mean, they still do it with the Lovevery one. It's just not as often as the really big Kiwico one. Even though the Realist does have some of our favorites, it's probably the one I'd skip. For the 2 to 3 year old play kits, I will say these are definitely the hardest ones to rank. With my first child, I would have said the Investigator play kit was the best. With my second, his favorite is the Helper, and then the one I liked the most was the Free Spirit. So I will say this year, 2 to 3 definitely feels the most variable, and I get asked often about Kiwico versus Lovevery. With the release of Kiwico's new Panda Crate Plus line, which I'll link my full review, I would say that the 2 to 3 year old age range is probably when I would go and test out Kiwico if you've been curious, because these items are very variable. They have a couple really strong ones in each play kit and then a couple or underwhelming ones in each play kit of this year. I will say though, the Enthusiast play kit is 100% the play kit to skip. I would actually go as far as saying it's possibly the worst Lovevery play kit. The puzzle that comes in it was too easy by the time my child was that age, and the scales were too complex. And these are probably our least used Lovevery items as a whole. You're better off just buying a squirt bottle and squeegee from the dollar store to give your child and getting a nice tea set. I'll link some of those below. For the 3 to 4 year old play kits, I will say the best in class, in my opinion, is the Observer play kit. This dollhouse is 1000% worth the cost of the play kit. And beyond that, it comes with 3 books that may not become your child's new favorite book, but you will end up relying on those scripts and those books to work through some challenging emotions over the next couple years of your child's development, which makes this a no-brainer. And for the worst play kit in 2 to 3 year olds, I'm gonna say it's the Storyteller play kit, which we actually do love. My daughter uses the puppets to show how she's feeling, which is really cool to see, especially as she got to like 4 years old. And the book is one of our all-time favorite Lovevery books, but you can get an alternative to Lovevery's Mob, which I'll link in the description box below, pretty easily, which is good because we needed a second one because my kids would fight over it. And I think that while we love the ease of the Lovevery's Fort kit, like my kids could build it on their own after some practice and teaching, that ease of build also meant that it broke easily and that it comes with so few pieces. My kids ultimately wanted much bigger builds than the Lovevery Fort could afford us. For that reason is why I'm going to say to skip it, because we ended up buying our own fort building kit and eventually got play couches, which kind of ended up replacing their setup. And then for the 4 to 5 year old play kits, this is actually the hardest year to choose a best and worst in class for. They really did such a great job with these new play kits. And I've only had one child go through the age range for these so far, so I'm basing it solely off of one. And like I said, as my second kid has gone through, my thoughts and opinions have changed a little bit. So feel free to ask me a year from now if my opinion that I'm about to share has changed. But currently, I would say that their best one is the Examiner play kit. This play kit just does not have a single dud item, is why I'm giving it to the Examiner. Every single thing we have loved and enjoyed. With the Connector play kit, while we absolutely love it, we didn't love the to-do board as much, but everything else in there was fantastic. And the book that comes in the Connector play kit is easily one of Lovevery's best books of all time. It's a hard choice in that sense. Examiner is the only play kit from this year that did not have a single miss of an item, is why I'm giving it the best in class. In terms of the worst play kit for 4 to 5 year olds, I'm gonna say the Persister, but again, none of them are rad. So I'm giving it worst in class because you technically could get your own dry erase workbooks to replace the tracing and writing board that it comes with. My daughter also hasn't really played with or touched the rainbow breathwork ring thingy. And I personally don't love playing the Montessori movable alphabet game that comes in this play kit, even though it's one of my daughter's absolute favorite games. That's kind of why we're gonna give it worst. I would love to hear in the comments below, and I'm sure other families would too, which has been your child's favorite and least favorite play kit. Be sure to go back and check out my past Lovevery play kit reviews, again, where I show you guys how to shop the dupes if you want to self-curate any of these worst play kits I mentioned today. And as always, my name is Rachel from The Confused Mom. Have a good one.